honest, who hasn't had a dog that's had a few dogs and had one go missing occasionally? So it's something that can happen to any one of us. And so, charging them is when they're very vulnerable, because, it's upsetting to have your pet go missing. It's happened to me. And I can tell you, I was distraught. Now, I was lucky. I was able to find my little guy, just within a few minutes, because I knew he'd gone missing pretty quick, and then I was able to find him. But, that's not everybody has that luck with them. And so to take advantage of someone when their heart is broken and they're at their very vulnerable, I think is very despicable, in my opinion.
No, I agree. Because I started my organization for the same reason. I lost my 2 dogs, but I was one of the lucky ones who found them. It felt like forever, but it wasn't. It may have been a half hour, it may have been 45 minutes. I don't know, but it was sure terror. And so I know what people go through when they first lose a pet. And I was, like you, one of the lucky ones that got them back quickly. So you have to imagine, like you said, the people that are heartbroken and are searching and want to do whatever they can. But, I look at it this way, too, is just like the lost dog and cat groups, they know their areas and they have enough volunteers probably, within a county. They probably have the volunteers that help, like you said, a case manager. And just like we do, we know who they need to talk to. We know where they need to go. We know what they need to do. These national or whatever paid programs, they don't offer that assistance. They don't know who the players are, and they don't know who these people should be talking to or going or doing, and that's what really irritates me. Yeah, pay me for it, but I'm not going to tell you what to do,
Well, yeah, and I think it even goes a little bit further than that. And, honestly, my dog was only missing for probably 20 minutes. But let's say he had been missing for a couple of days. I would have paid someone $500 if they could have found him, or more. I mean, he was everything to me. And, people come along and they'll say, oh, I'll find your dog for you for this or whatever. But no one can guarantee they're going to find your pet. That's the reality, But I do know that, dedicated people that have the time, let's face it, it's not an easy task. You're going to have to put time in for some pets to find them. And I know lots of cases that people have spent 6 months to try to find their dog, and they found them. But, not everybody can take that time and effort to do it. But if you can find your pet, and you don't have to pay anybody anything, really.
Right. That's true. Now, I do get really offended, or whatever you may want to call it, disgusted, when, some of these people are trying to tell, oh, I can do this and I can do that. And they really can't. If the local people haven't done it, what makes you think that somebody from across the state can put up a sign that we've already got signs out and charge somebody $400? It's despicable, like you said.
Yeah. And going back to a point you just made earlier about, your group gives people the information, you give people the contacts, you help them to learn how to find their pet. And that's what people need. And if they follow those tips that they get from your organization or the groups that we work with at Lost Dogs America, Lost Cats America, or other reputable groups out there are others out there that are quite reputable and do a great job too. Mm-hmm. Follow the information that they give you. That's what you need to do to find your pet. Mm-hmm. And whether it's putting up flyers, visiting the shelters in your area, visiting the vets, whatever, those are the sorts of things that you need to do. And if you follow those tips, they're free tips, it's free information, but that's what you got to do.
Right. Yep, it is true. And that's Kathy always, stresses how important the flyers are. That's why it's nice that your Helping Lost Pets gives the free flyers, because they are so important to do. It's like one of the most important things.
It is, I mean, as low tech as it is, they are still the number one way that pets get home. Mm-hmm. besides a microchip, for example. Every pet should be microchipped. There's no question about that. But the effectiveness of a microchip is only going to work if the finder takes that pet to get scanned.
Right.
And the reality is that for most cats that are lost, unless they end up in a shelter, the microchip's probably not going to help them because, when people see a cat out that's just wandering around, they think, well, maybe it's just a neighbor's cat or something, and they're not going to catch the cat and take them to get scanned. So, they still should be chipped because it doesn't cost very much, and if they end up in a shelter, that's the only way they're going to get home usually. So, microchip your pets, keep them safe. But yeah, if they go missing, get flyers up in your area because people in your area, that's likely where they're going to be, found. Right.
Now, Rob, what type of things do you have or envisioned for your future in growing this national database?
Well, the future of what we're trying to do is we recently partnered with Pet FBI to share listings on our 2 websites. And, the theory with that is that if you list with one of us, we send your listing over to the other one, and that just saves each owner time because they don't have to go and list it on 2 sites. What we're working on now and what the future is we're working on now bringing the 2 systems together and launching a brand new system, brand new platform that incorporates all the good things that Pet FBI does and all the good things that Helping Lost Pets does, and in a new platform because in the tech world, I built Helping Lost Pets in 2010, and of course we've maintained it ever since. But when we launched Helping Lost Pets, there weren't very many smartphones out there, and people weren't really using them at that time. Whereas nowadays, smartphones are actually used more than desktops and other devices. So it's important to keep up with the technology, but it's difficult too when you offer a free service. It did cost me a lot of money to build it in the first place, and it does take a lot of money to maintain it. So it's not a simple thing to just release a brand new product. And so, but we're working on it, and I hope it's going to be launched sometime in this year.
Oh, that's great. Yeah. Now, not only Canada and the United States, you also cover some other countries, right? Maybe.
Well,
am I right about that?
Well, I started off actually making it. It was actually worldwide when I first launched it.
That's what I thought.
Yeah, because when it's worldwide, anybody could use it because it was all map based, right? But I recently, probably about a year ago, I decided to scale it back and just focus more on Canada, the U.S., and the U.K. And I believe Australia is in there as well. For a couple of reasons. Number one, they're English-speaking countries, and we didn't have multi-language at the time. But also too, because we just get so many hackers and spammers from other countries. India and other countries out there. It just wasn't, and there wasn't very many people using it. So I just decided that we would just block them out. So that's what we did.
So now it's Canada and the U.S.
Mostly Canada and the U.S. It's pretty widely used. A little bit of usage in the U.K., not very much, and very little in Australia as well. So
okay.
So really, I just focus on Canada and the U.S.
Well, I imagine that that's just plenty of lost pets to deal with.
It really is.
Yeah.
When you look at the number of listings that we get every day, I think last year was it about 30,000 pets we helped to get back home.
Wow.
That use the website.
That's great.
And I always stress that we didn't get everyone back home because some pets do come back on their own, or it was their microchip that got them home, or many other reasons. But we did provide them assistance because they could print a flyer, and we don't know exactly how many got home because of the flyer, but we know it's a good number for sure.
Yeah, that's for sure. All right, would you like to just let everybody know how they can find you on the web?
Sure. Well, there's really the two main ways are our main website, helpinglostpets.com. And if you scroll down on that page, you'll actually see all the different groups that we work with across Canada and the U.S. And the link in there is to their Facebook page, if you want to go directly to their Facebook page. But the good thing is that whether you go to their Facebook page and click on the link to list your pet there, or whether you go to our main website, helpinglostpets.com, to list, it doesn't really matter. It's going to go to the same place. And once you put your listing in, we're going to redirect the lost listing out to that particular Facebook group in that state, or whether it's a Lost Dogs of Wisconsin, or whether it's Lost Cats Illinois, wherever your particular pet is missing, and they'll get that alert, and then they'll take that alert and post it on Facebook for you. So you're getting extra exposure. We're also on Facebook too, but that's more just for education. It's Facebook/Helping Lost Pets.
Okay. Yeah, I mean, it's a great, I was so interested when I first started doing this, and I learned a lot from you and your webpage, and especially from Kathy. And I've just, I couldn't do what I do today without you guys. So I just want to thank you for that.
That's good to know. And, at some point, we'll get everybody integrated and working together. And my goal is to see every, when you think about it, if we had one centralized database where every lost pet and every found pet was listed, there would never be a pet that was found that had their family searching for them that couldn't get home.
That's right.
Now, that's pretty amazing when you think about that, because the numbers of pets in shelters, and the majority of them are likely lost pets at some point, not owner surrenders. And that's a lot of pets that would be saved.
It is. Well, Rob, I want to thank you so much for being with me today. I really appreciated it, and it was good to talk with you. I enjoyed our conversation.
Well, thank you so much, Patty, and I really appreciate the opportunity to speak to your audience and let them know what we're up to. And hopefully we'll see the day when we do have a centralized database and we can save more pets together.
That's right. All right, everybody. Please remember that a lost pet can't tell anyone where it lives, so be sure your pet is microchipped and wearing its ID tags. And if it is chipped, be sure that chip is registered and up to date. I'm your host, Patty Giarrusso, and this has been Let's Talk Pets on Society Bites Radio. Thanks for joining us today, and until next time, take care and keep your pets safe.